Yo, it's your boy Casual with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one and a quick one at that. Hit that like, comment below, subscribe if you got the timing for this. Let's get straight into it. It's your keys to victory for Canelo Alvarez, or should I say Saul Canelo Alvarez, against Terence Crawford, September 13, 2025, and how we start all of these in this segment. This is not a prediction. This is just a keys to victory of how this fighter can win. We also do it for Terence Crawford. Check out those videos. We got about 3 of those. And this is the second installment for the likes of Canelo Alvarez. Let's get into it. If you read the title, it says, break his jab. Canelo Alvarez simply needs to break the jab of Terence Crawford. Now, let's get into this. I think a lot of times we focus in on the power of Canelo. If you watch our first segment of this, it's break his body. That focusing on the power of Canelo Alvarez, but let's go a little bit further because Canelo Alvarez is a smart fighter with high IQ. To be a man of his stature in the 168-pound division, it takes more than strength and power to be there. Yes, that's good to have, but you also have to have ring IQ to do what he does to these men who are much bigger than him. Yes, they weigh in at 168 pounds, but most of them balloon up to about 190-ish. Why? Because it's 168 pounds to the light heavyweight of 175 pounds division is your average weight for your average male throughout the world. Some are bigger, obviously, when you go west, and some are smaller when you go east. Doesn't matter. That is about your average male between the heights of about 5'10" or so. Unfortunately, in the sport of boxing, we cut down in weight. So the men who are coming down to 168, 175, and cruiserweight, obviously, are much bigger men. They're about 6 foot in a lot of cases, between 5'10" to 6 foot. And they're cutting weight. That's why they're at 190, coming down. Canelo Alvarez, of his stature of 5'9", can weigh in at 168, and after the fight night, on fight night, he's about 180-ish himself, high 180s. But more importantly, it's the attributes. These men are already taller, got about 2 inches of reach on them, 2 inches of height on them. An inch to a half an inch in reach and height goes big in the sport of boxing, especially when you're already bigger and you can punch. So a guy like Saul Canelo Alvarez, who started around 154, especially if you don't count the catch weight, just a little bit lower, and when he started out, his first few fights coming in as pro, is a small man when it comes to these guys at 168, 175. So why has he been successful? It's not just because he's got pop, not just because he's got power, because if you actually check it, he doesn't have a lot of knockouts in these last few years. The reason he's successful, because he's got decent power at that weight that these men respect. But more importantly, he's got ring IQ that has picked them apart and allowed his power to be effective in winning these fights by decision. So to beat a man like Terence Crawford, it's not just the power that he can use to win. It's going to be his ring IQ, and it starts with breaking the jab. Terence Crawford is going to take a page out of Dimitri Bivol and Floyd Money Mayweather and the like of Izari Landa, who were successful. Obviously, 2 of those 3 beat Canelo. He's going to learn that you got to start with the jab to start offsetting Canelo. Jab at the hips, jab at the waistline, jab at the shoulders, throw him off key to throw off his balance. Set him up so you can get your offense off and then get out the way. Canelo Alvarez in his corner, I believe already know this, understand this, in the way for his keys to victory to easily pick apart the likes of Terence Crawford is this: break the jab, punch the jab, parry the jab. Do not let him set up off that. Do not let him start to build momentum off the jab and look for things to get at you. Terence Crawford is going to try to jab that hip line, try to jab the lower body to stop you in your tracks as you're pressing forward. What do? You punch that, you break that, you parry that. Remove that from his arsenal, and a lot of things will open up for Canelo Alvarez. Now, Canelo Alvarez himself is not a strong jabber. And what I mean by that, he doesn't throw a high volume of jabs. He sticks with the high guard. He loads. He's a good counter puncher. Definitely good on the hook. His jab is good as well. He doesn't utilize it enough. In this case, I think he needs to overutilize it. Jab and jab at Terence Crawford's jab and break it. You are the stronger fighter. Offset his jab. Confuse him. Do not let him stop your momentum. And the way to do this is simply removing what he wants to use to limit your momentum. But Crawford has a good straight left. If he fights out of southpaw, he can switch. So whatever he wants to do that night, he's got a good straight on both sides, but the straight left is immaculate. But he can only get behind that when he starts jabbing and probing. Removing that from his arsenal removes the one good power punch or the couple good power punches he has, but more importantly, it limits him from moving around you and utilizing his footwork. When you remove that jab from Terence Crawford, he starts to get confused. He won't be able to slow down your movement and turn angles the way that he would like to win this fight. He is the faster puncher. But it all starts with the jab. And I know us as fight fans, I know many people as boxers, anybody that's been in any type of fighting sport, it starts with the jab. The jab sets up so much work for him. So the way that you set that up for another high IQ fighter like Terence Crawford is you just remove it completely and see if he can actually swim without that safety device. See if he can handle the power now. See if he can handle the hooks. See if he can handle counter punches as you remove the jab and he tries to offset you with something else with a power shot. Now that that's gone, he's going to try to go for broke on certain cases. Now the counter punching comes in. Now the body work is going to be even more important. If you break the jab, you begin to break a fighter of the magnitude of Terence Crawford, especially when the power is in your favor. Anyways, we talked too long on this. Hit that like, comment below. Let us know what you think. Is this a strong key to victory for Canelo Alvarez? We got some more coming, but is this a good one or not? Can he really break the jab of Terence Crawford? And even if he does it do anything to the likes of Terence Crawford, who himself is a pound for pound top great fighter? More importantly, hit that subscribe if you got the time, man. We really appreciate that love. Until the next time, peace.